All right, you can hear that lovely sizzling of the onions, and I tell you what, it smells like an unbelievable barbecue in here right now. There's nothing that makes me happier than a delicious steak sandwich, but it has to be a really well-made one, and that's why we're here, because I'm gonna show you how to make the perfect steak sandwich. Are you ready? Because this is gonna be fun. All right, you get a little bit of oil, pour that oil into a preheated pan, crank that up nice and high, and then go ahead and start sauteing those onions, and you can add some salt and some thyme leaves. Give that a stir around. Okay, now the most important decision of the day is which steak do I use? You really have so many choices, but we're gonna cook the Scotch fillet today. What we do is we take a little bit of salt, flip it on over, and do the same on the other side. So the onions are caramelizing nicely. All right, now our steak has been on the grill pan there for about 90 seconds. Give it just a little push. At Coles, 100% of our beef is Aussie raised, and I'm so proud of that. We go to great lengths finding and working with the incredible beef producers to bring it to everyone across the country. No added hormones, and it tastes fantastic. Let's have a look at the other side. Oh yeah, perfect. So you want all of that gorgeous char and color. Once your steak's had about 90 seconds on either side, you've got that beautiful golden brown char, go ahead and remove it from the grill pan, stick it onto a plate or a cutting board and let it rest. This is a really important part of the process. If you don't let it rest, what's gonna happen is you're gonna have red in the center and gray on the outsides. What you want is that beautiful pink all the way through the steak. So we're letting the juices redistribute through that steak as it just cools down ever so slightly. Our caramelized onions have come along nicely. The other thing that we're going to do is grill our bread. Now, I love the flavor that we've already established on that char grill pan, so we're going to take a couple of slices of bread, and instead of just using olive oil, we're going to use some of that beef fat that's rendered out as well. So I'm going to add just a little bit more oil, and then we drop our bread in and we grill it. Now, I'm using sourdough bread baked by my mate Laurent. It is really, really wonderful sourdough. And have a look at what we've got here. Already starting to get a little bit of a char. My caramelized onions have had enough. You can see they're beautiful and golden brown. So the next step here is to take a couple of slices of cheese. Again, you can use whatever cheese you like, but I'm going for a nice cheddar. Then I take some of those caramelized onions. And then it's time to cut our steak. I actually go ahead and slice that steak nice and thin. One of these steaks is really enough for 2 steak sandwiches. One more little slice of cheese. Pick that up, stick it straight under the grill, and in about 90 seconds, it'll be ready, which gives me just enough time to make the sauce. So to make the sauce, you need a bowl. You take some mayonnaise, add some horseradish cream. So I'm mixing that with a little bit of creme fraiche, which of course is a bit like sour cream in its flavor profile. Beautiful. And that is it. You can see the steak is still beautiful and pink. The cheese has melted perfectly. Take a little bit of that horseradish, mayonnaise, creme fraiche mixture, load it up with this peppery leaf, rock it, get your bread straight on top. Then you cut straight on through it. I think that is as close to the perfect steak sandwich as you can get. The flavor of this is just so good. First of all, it is the moistest bite you can ever imagine. The richness of the beef, the sweetness of the onions, and that pepperiness of the rocket and the horseradish. I'm sorry, but I just gotta keep on eating.